Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into how to build a heart-healthy diet. I know, it can feel super complicated. But what if it didn't have to be? What if we could break it all down into simple, powerful building blocks that you can actually start using right away? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's get into it. So let me just start with this one question. Think about this for a second. What if your spice rack was also a medicine cabinet? What if some of the biggest keys to a healthier heart were already sitting in your kitchen, maybe right there next to the salt and pepper? It's a pretty cool idea, right? And it's exactly where we're going to begin. But before we get to all the fun stuff in the kitchen, we have to understand why this conversation is so incredibly important. You see, cardiovascular diseases, they aren't just a health issue, they are the #1 cause of death globally. The stakes are really, really high, which makes finding these simple everyday solutions more critical than ever before. Right, so this isn't just about our own individual health. This is a massive global challenge. And when you understand that scale, it really helps you appreciate how every single small, positive change we make at our own diet can be a really powerful step in the right direction. So let's start with some of the easiest changes out there. And you know what? Some of the most powerful tools are hiding in plain sight. Yep, right there in your spice cabinet. We're about to look at the actual science behind 3 everyday spices. These have been used for centuries, of course, but now they're getting some serious attention from scientists for their amazing heart-healthy properties. First up, ginger. You know that spicy, warm kick it has? Well, that comes from a compound called gingerol. And let me tell you, gingerol is a true powerhouse. It actively goes to war against inflammation and oxidative stress, which are basically 2 of the main bad guys behind cardiovascular disease. Okay, next up is garlic, and its secret weapon is a compound called allicin. Here's a cool fact. It only gets released when you crush or chop the garlic. Allicin is what you'd call a double threat. It's hypolipidemic. That's just a fancy way of saying it helps lower fats like cholesterol in your blood. And it also has antithrombotic effects, which means it can help prevent dangerous blood clots. Pretty incredible. And rounding out our trio is turmeric, that beautiful golden spice. Its star player is curcumin, and this is a real game changer for your arteries. Curcumin has been shown to have something called anti-atherogenic properties. In simple terms, it helps fight the buildup of that nasty plaque in your arteries. And that is a huge deal for keeping your entire cardiovascular system running smooth. And look, this isn't just some old folktale. There's real hard data to back this all up. Just look at these results from clinical trials. For ginger, just 3 grams a day, that's about a teaspoon, for 45 days, significantly lowered that bad LDL cholesterol. Garlic, over a whole year, did the same thing and even lowered the overall risk of cardiovascular disease. And turmeric, wow, in just 8 weeks, it not only reduced LDL and triglycerides, but body weight too. The proof is right here. There's solid science behind these spices. Okay, so from the spice rack, let's pivot to an essential mineral that honestly just does not get the attention it deserves, magnesium. It is a true hidden hero for your heart. And the scary part is, a lot of us just aren't getting enough. Now, the problem is something called chronic latent magnesium deficiency, and it's really sneaky. Your blood test for magnesium might come back looking perfectly normal, but what's really happening is your body's total storage of magnesium is running low. It's super common, which means many of us could be in this state and have absolutely no idea. And the consequences of this hidden deficiency? Well, they're serious. We're talking about a direct link between low magnesium and a whole list of cardiovascular problems, from high blood pressure and stroke, all the way to heart failure and even death. It is a mineral we simply cannot afford to ignore. Okay, so we've looked at these powerful individual ingredients, a few spices, a key mineral. Now let's zoom out and see how these building blocks fit into the bigger picture. We're talking about complete dietary blueprints. We're going to compare 2 of the heavyweights, 2 of the most well-researched, heart-healthy diets out there. So on one side, you've got the DASH diet. That stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. As you can guess, its main goal is super specific: lower your blood pressure. And it does that by being really strict about limiting sodium. Then, on the other side, you've got the famous Mediterranean diet, which takes a much broader approach to overall wellness, focusing on foods like olive oil, fish, and nuts. One of the biggest differences is how they handle fat. DASH is low in total fat, while the Mediterranean way is rich in those healthy, unsaturated fats. But here's the beautiful thing. Even though they take different paths, they both lead to the same incredible destination. Both of these diets are scientifically proven to deliver a whole range of benefits. We're talking reduced hypertension, lower cardiovascular risk, and fighting inflammation. The most important point here is that picking either one of these is a massive win for your heart. So, what happens when you take the absolute best parts of these two proven diets and you smash them together? Well, you get our next building block, a modern diet that was designed to protect both your heart and your brain. It's called the Mind Diet, and it is, quite literally, a hybrid. It takes key ideas from both the DASH and Mediterranean plans, but it adds a special twist. It puts a huge emphasis on foods that science has shown can support not just your heart, but your brain health too. And of course, the science totally backs it up. A recent study found that people who followed the Mind Diet more closely had a lower chance of having low levels of that good HDL cholesterol, and they were also less likely to be obese. And get this, the results can show up surprisingly fast. This chart shows the change in bad LDL cholesterol after just 4 weeks. Look at that. The group following the Mind Diet saw a significant drop. That shows a direct, positive, and pretty rapid impact on a major risk factor for heart disease. But here's where it gets really fascinating. The benefits go way beyond the physical. In that same study, the Mind Diet group saw their anxiety scores go down by almost 2 points. Now look at the control group. Their anxiety actually increased. This is just incredible evidence of that powerful connection between a heart-healthy diet and a mind-healthy diet. All right, so we've gone from individual spices in your kitchen cabinet to a critical mineral, all the way to these comprehensive dietary blueprints. Now it's time to put all those pieces together and actually build your plate. Here it is, your blueprint, a simple 4-step guide based on everything we just talked about. Step 1, start small. Just power up your meals with those spices. Step 2, mind your magnesium. Make sure you're getting enough. 3, adopt a proven pattern like DASH or Mediterranean to build your foundation. And 4, if you want to take it to the next level, consider exploring the Mind Diet for those awesome dual benefits for your heart and brain. And please, remember this, you do not have to do all of this at once. The journey to better heart health doesn't require a massive, stressful overhaul overnight. It can literally start with one small, simple change. So that just leaves one final question, and this one is all for you. After seeing all the science behind the spices, the minerals, and the meal plans, which one of these building blocks are you going to add to your plate first?